Gentlemen, what if I told you that your wife may be hiding an affair? And these 6 warning signs are the key to uncovering the truth. The truth is, women are masters at concealing their actions, and the signs are often subtle but powerful. In this video, I'll walk you through the most telling signs that she's hiding something major. Don't miss this. It could be the clarity you've been searching for. Make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and comment with the city you're watching from. Let's see how many of you are spotting these signs already. Sign 1. The digital fortress trick. She's guarding her phone like it's classified. One of the clearest and most concerning signs that your wife might be hiding an affair is how protective she has become of her phone. If her phone has gone from an accessible and open part of her life to something she guards like a vault, that's a major red flag. She used to leave it lying around or casually hand it to you without hesitation. But now, it's either glued to her hand or tucked away out of sight. This behavior is a classic sign of secrecy and often signals that something is being hidden. She might suddenly start locking her phone more frequently, even when she's just around the house, and if you happen to glance at it, she'll quickly cover the screen, almost as if she's trying to shield it from your view. If she used to leave her phone unattended but now never lets it out of her sight, this change is not coincidental. She's not just being cautious with her phone, she's hiding conversations, messages, and even calls that she doesn't want you to know about. Another common behavior is the sudden increase in password protection. If she never had a passcode before, and now it's locked at all times, you may find it harder to access her phone, or even catch a glimpse of what's going on. And when you ask her about it, she might say, "I just wanted to keep it secure," or "It's just a habit." But the defensiveness in her tone and the quickness with which she locks her phone away is enough to raise suspicion. This heightened level of secrecy isn't just about privacy. It's a calculated effort to cover something up. When you confront her about her phone behavior, she may respond with irritation, brushing off your concerns as if you're being overly suspicious or controlling. But you know the truth. You've sensed something's off, and the fact that her phone has become a fortress is the clearest sign that she's hiding something. Her overprotectiveness and refusal to share information are classic signs that she's trying to cover her tracks, whether it's from you or someone else. But this behavior isn't the only psychological trick she's using to keep her affair hidden. The next sign is even more subtle but equally telling. Stay tuned. This next one could change everything you thought you knew. Sign 2. The disappearances that don't add up trick. She's mastering the art of vanishing. Another major sign that your wife might be hiding an affair is the sudden increase in her disappearances. She starts making last-minute plans that don't add up, often citing vague reasons for why she's out of the house or unavailable. This isn't just about needing time for herself. She's keeping herself busy to avoid your questions, and it's a major red flag. You might notice that she suddenly has more evening meetings or spontaneous outings with friends, work, or even solo activities. It's the kind of thing that seems innocent at first. A dinner with a friend, an urgent work meeting, or even a quick trip to run errands. But when these last-minute plans start happening with regularity, especially when they are unexplained or don't seem to have any real purpose, that's when the suspicion should kick in. It's not just the frequency of her disappearances, it's also the secrecy surrounding them. When you ask her where she's going or who she's with, she's likely to give you a vague response. Just out with some coworkers, or meeting an old friend, nothing big. If you push for details, she might get defensive or irritated, turning the conversation around to accuse you of being paranoid or controlling. These responses are meant to keep you from digging deeper, as she knows that the less information you have, the less you can question her actions. You may also notice that she becomes harder to reach when she's out. When you try to call or text her, you get vague responses or no replies at all for hours, even when you know she's not busy. She may tell you later that her phone was dead or that she was too caught up to check it. But this inconsistency in communication, especially when it's out of the blue, shows that something is amiss. Her disappearances and lack of transparency should raise concerns, especially if she's been doing this for a while. The pattern is becoming clear. She's keeping herself busy and unavailable, all while avoiding giving you real answers. And the more you question her behavior, the more she'll deflect, pushing you away emotionally and physically. But this isn't just an isolated tactic. The next sign she's using to hide her affair is even more subtle and manipulative. Stay tuned, because the truth is about to be revealed in a way you didn't expect. Sign 3. The cold shoulder trick. She's emotionally checking out without saying a word. If your wife is becoming emotionally distant, it's a major warning sign that something is wrong. This cold shoulder behavior is a subtle but powerful indicator that she's withdrawing from you emotionally, and it's one of the clearest signs she may be hiding an affair. When a partner starts pulling away from emotional connection, it's not just about needing space or feeling overwhelmed. It's about detachment, and this detachment could be due to her involvement with someone else. You might notice that she no longer engages in meaningful conversations. What used to be long discussions about your day, your plans, or future goals now feels like pulling teeth. When you try to talk to her about anything of significance, she either offers short, uninterested answers or quickly changes the subject. The woman who once shared her thoughts and feelings freely is now silent, detached, and emotionally unavailable. When you ask how she's feeling, or if anything is bothering her, she might respond with, "I'm fine," or "It's nothing," dismissing your concerns without a second thought. Her lack of engagement isn't just in conversation. It extends to how she responds to you emotionally. If she's no longer showing affection, if she avoids holding your hand or cuddling on the couch, or if simple acts of closeness make her uncomfortable, it's a clear sign that her emotional bond with you has weakened significantly. This emotional withdrawal is also reflected in how she reacts to conflict or tension. If you bring up something that bothers you or express frustration, she may seem indifferent or even irritated. She no longer seems invested in resolving issues or working through challenges as a couple. Instead, she either shuts down completely or brushes things off, leaving you feeling unheard and invalidated. This cold shoulder isn't just a temporary phase, it's a long-term pattern of behavior. Her emotional disconnection may not be related to external factors like stress or work. It's much more likely that she's emotionally checked out because her heart is no longer invested in the relationship. And while she's pulling away from you, she may be growing closer to someone else. But this emotional distance isn't the only tactic she's using to cover up her affair. The next sign she's hiding something will make everything else fall into place, and it's something you've probably overlooked. Keep watching. The truth is about to get even clearer. Sign 4. The unpredictable schedule. Trick: last-minute plans that always keep you guessing. A major red flag that your wife is hiding an affair is her suddenly unpredictable schedule. She starts making last-minute plans, often without consulting you, leaving you in the dark about where she's going or who she's meeting. While everyone has busy times, the sudden influx of spontaneous activities, especially those without much detail or explanation, is a sure sign that something is off. At first, it might seem innocent enough. She has a sudden work meeting, or she's meeting up with a friend for coffee. But the frequency of these events quickly escalates. She's now always busy when you try to make plans, claiming to have impromptu meetings, errands, or social outings with friends you've never met. These sudden appearances and disappearances make it difficult for you to keep track of where she's spending her time or with whom. What makes this particularly alarming is how vague she becomes when you ask about her schedule. Instead of offering specifics, she responds with vague phrases like, "I'll be back later," or "I'm meeting some people." When you press for more details, she either gets defensive or shuts down the conversation completely, brushing off your concerns as no big deal. She might even accuse you of being controlling or overbearing, making it seem like you're the one at fault for asking for clarity. What's even more troubling is that these last-minute plans often come at the expense of spending time with you. What used to be casual weekends together or quiet evenings at home now become opportunities for her to make excuses and disappear. If she's avoiding spending quality time with you and making you feel like an afterthought, it's clear she's emotionally invested elsewhere. This constant juggling of schedules is more than just about being busy. It's about hiding the truth. She's keeping herself unavailable, often with little to no explanation, so she can maintain the affair without raising suspicion. Her inability or unwillingness to provide details about where she's going or who she's with is a clear sign that she's hiding something. But this avoidance of transparency isn't the only trick she's using to keep you in the dark. The next sign will reveal a deeper manipulation that you've likely overlooked. Stay tuned, because the truth is about to get even clearer. Sign 5. The reversal of roles trick. She's turning the tables on your concerns. If your wife starts turning the tables on your concerns, it's a serious warning sign that she might be hiding something. One of the most effective psychological tricks women use to cover up an affair is to deflect the focus from her actions to your behavior. Instead of addressing the issue or answering your questions, she'll accuse you of being paranoid, controlling, or insecure. This deflection shifts the narrative away from her affair and onto you, making you feel like the problem in the relationship. For instance, when you raise your suspicions or question her behavior, she may say things like, "Why are you always so jealous?" or "You don't trust me." She may make it seem like your concerns are unreasonable or rooted in personal insecurity, painting herself as the victim of your accusations. This reversal of roles works to distract you from the truth. She's the one who's been emotionally or physically involved with someone else, but instead of owning up to that, she manipulates the situation to make you feel guilty for questioning her. What makes this tactic so dangerous is how effective it is at making you doubt your own instincts. You begin to second-guess yourself, wondering if you really are being too controlling or paranoid. She'll continue to gaslight you, planting the seed that you're the one with the problem. This makes it harder for you to continue investigating or confronting her because she's convinced you that your suspicions are baseless and that the issue lies with you, not her behavior. You might find yourself apologizing for bringing up the issue in the first place, just to restore the peace. She will then use your apologies as proof that she was right all along, further reinforcing the idea that you're overreacting. Meanwhile, the truth remains hidden, and she's able to carry on with her affair without ever facing any consequences for her actions. This reversal of roles is a manipulation designed to put the blame squarely on your shoulders, making you feel guilty for having doubts in the first place. It's not just about avoiding responsibility for the affair. It's about keeping you confused and unsure of what's real. But this manipulation is just the surface. The next warning sign she's using to keep you in the dark is even more subtle and devious. Stay tuned, because this next trick will challenge everything you think you know. Sign 6. The money trail. Trick: unexplained purchases and hidden expenses. One of the most overlooked yet telling signs that your wife might be hiding an affair is unexplained purchases and sudden financial secrecy. If you've noticed odd charges on your shared bank account, or perhaps unexplained credit card expenses, this could be a red flag. These financial discrepancies are often a subtle yet significant indication that something is wrong. When you confront her about unfamiliar expenses, she might offer vague or dismissive explanations. "Oh, I bought a new pair of shoes for work," or "I needed to get a gift for a friend." She might even tell you that you're overreacting and that it's nothing to be concerned about. However, as these mysterious expenses continue to appear, the pattern becomes harder to ignore. What makes these financial inconsistencies so dangerous is the secrecy they often involve. If she's spending money on things she never mentioned before, especially without consulting you, it's possible that she's diverting funds to someone else, either directly or indirectly. For example, she might be paying for hotels, dinners, or gifts for the person she's seeing behind your back. If she's consistently withdrawing cash, making large purchases, or buying things that don't match her usual spending habits, it's worth investigating. You might even start noticing that she becomes defensive or evasive when you ask about finances. She could become irritated by questions about her spending habits, dismissing them with, "I don't know, I just needed it," or "I don't want to talk about money right now." This defensive reaction is a typical response when someone is trying to hide the truth. Instead of openly discussing the purchases, she shuts you down to avoid further confrontation. At times, she may start to hide her receipts or fail to mention the purchases altogether, which further indicates that she's trying to keep things from you. These attempts to hide her spending are often the financial equivalent of hiding her tracks in the affair. Whether it's through secretive transactions or unexplained expenses, she's trying to keep you from noticing what's really going on. See you in the next video.